Welcome back to You Revise, where we talk about everything exams.
Let's take a look at question 23 from the 2017 exam. It reads, question 22 to 25 refer to the following information. Some chemistry students were investigating the relationship between concentration and rate of reaction. In the investigation, different concentrations of hydrochloric acid were added to sodium thiosulfate solution to produce solid sulfur. This reaction was represented by the following equation. This is the equation representing the reaction. It goes on to read, a piece of paper with a cross drawn on it was placed under the reaction vessel. The time taken for the cross to disappear due to the formation of the precipitate was measured. The type of data collected and the source of data are best characterized as. So we'll come back and look at this. Let's first of all look at what the examiner had to say and the syllabus point that influenced, that inspired this question. Now, only 56% of candidates got this question right. This is a very low pass rate for this kind of question, I would like to say, because this is something which you start doing as far back as, I would say, year 11 in terms of qualitative. Yeah, no, that's year 11 stuff, which I would have expected a lot of students to do very well in, but I'm not gonna say that it's a satisfactory. It's not. It's a very low pass rate for this type of question. Now let's look at what we have here. Qualitative and primary, qualitative and secondary, quantitative and primary, quantitative and secondary. So we need to know what qualitative, quantitative, primary and secondary data means. Right. When we are talking of quantitative is actually it involves numerical values. Yeah, it involves numbers, so it's quantifiable. It involves numbers. So this is data that is numerical. Okay, it has got numerical values, so it's quantitative. And another thing is it can be analyzed statistically. Yeah, because there's numerical data that is not quantitative. For example, the postcode 6000, the postcode of Perth, it cannot be analyzed, all postcodes, unless we count the number of postcode, but the absolute postcode number cannot be considered quantitative. It's categorical data, which is not quantitative. So for quantitative, it must be numerical, and also you must be able to analyze that data statistically. Now, what is primary data? Let's look at qualitative. Qualitative is non-numerical data. Is non-numerical, and if it has got numbers, it's those numbers that if you look at them, you think, is there any need for me to be calculating an average, for example, for postcodes? Why? There is no need for that. Even though the postcode is represented by numbers, as such, that is not quantitative. I could actually put it more under qualitative, because I could say, okay, a particular postcode is a good postcode or a bad postcode, depending on what's going on there. A particular postcode represents a certain socioeconomic class, right? So yeah, be careful. It doesn't mean that everything represented by numbers is quantitative. or it's not qualitative. It depends. You have to be more granular and look at things, in detail, in more detail, rather than just saying it's a number, therefore it's quantitative. Okay. What about primary and secondary data? Primary data is first-hand data, the data that is collected by the person conducting the investigation, and they process their data, right? Secondary data is data that was collected by someone else and it's passed on to you. So in this case, again, for this investigation, the data collected would be primary, and it's also quantitative because it can actually repeat the experiment, calculate average, calculate standard deviation. There's a lot of, there are a few possible statistical analysis that can actually be carried out with the data. So let's take a look at the answer. So we are saying qualitative. No, it's not qualitative, it's quantitative. So we get rid of everything that says qualitative. Primary, yes, it's primary, but because this is wrong, this means the whole of A is not correct. Secondary, no, which means completely B is incorrect. It was incorrect anyway. Quantitative and primary, yep. Quantitative, yep. Secondary, no. So the correct answer for this one would be C. I'm going to finish off this one here, and I shall see you when you attempt the next question.
Thank you once again for watching. I shall see you in the next video. I hope this video was very helpful, and I would love to hear any questions, any concerns, or anything that you think could have been done differently in this video.